Cocktail Hour Cinema, talking drinks and cinema. We watch and eat some dinner, but we don't show you the dinner. It's Cocktail Hour. Cheers, everyone, and welcome to Cocktail Hour Cinema. I'm Brent.
I am Nico.
And I'm Emily.
And we are a weekly video podcast that discusses movie news, TV shows, movies, etc. And today we're talking about the series finale of Wandavision. Emily, what did you make for us?
So tonight's signature cocktail, we're going back to the Wandavision vault, and this one is inspired by Agatha. We got a witchy little cocktail. What's witchier than absinthe? So this is a take on a Corpse Rever number 2. We're calling it Absintha all along.
Nice.
You are going to start with 1 ounce of Lillet Blanc, 1 ounce of Empress Gin. That's our like fun purple color changing gin that you might remember from the very first episode. 1 ounce of Cointreau, a little dash of absinthe. I did like between an 1/8 ounce and a 1/4 ounce, depends on your preference for absinthe. And then a little bit of the edible glitter because it's fun and it's witchy. Then you're going to shake that up.
Razzle dazzle.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to shake that up, pour it into a coupe or over rocks, whatever you want. And then you're going to
pronounced
add...
cup, actually.
Shut up. And then you're going to top that off
Uncultured
with
swine.
your 1 ounce of lemon juice. That's going to give it that lovely color changing thing. Does this break the rules of cocktails? Yes, it does. Normally, you would pour the lemon juice into the shaker and shake it with it. That's the rules. But then you don't get to see the fun color changing. So we're
Sometimes you got to break the rules.
We're
to
breaking
make
the rules today.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I think
Sometimes.
I think Agatha would approve. So yeah, how's your little purple witchy
She's a rule
cocktail?
breaker, and you're a rule breaker. I like it because even though it's just a touch of absinthe, it's still almost absinthe forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
The gin and
It's
absinthe
still-
play with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is delicious. I like the glitter.
I mean, yeah.
It
How
tastes
can you
amazing.
not?
It's
It's
like-
fun.
A little party in your mouth.
It is.
I asked them ahead
Very
of time.
magical.
I was like, oh, during my test cocktail, I didn't use the glitter, but I was like, should I use the glitter? And they were both like, yes.
You're
What kind of a
making
fucking question is that?
Yes.
Yes.
you're making a cocktail based on like witch's magic. Like
I didn't want to use like all the same tricks of the first cocktail, but it's a totally different cocktail.
Use the same
Use the
tricks over and
Color
over
changing
again.
and glitter.
if
Like,
our
come on.
viewers are buying edible glitter for your last cocktail, they'll probably have some for this one. So why not?
It comes in like little tiny thing like this, and it lasts forever. So
And also, I do
Yeah,
want to
put some
add
good
this.
usage
If you
to it.
are watching the show and kind of playing along and making the drinks, and you don't have one thing, just fuck around and experiment and like do a
Yeah.
little mix of what we're doing, because that's pretty much what we're doing. We're finding drinks that exist or just fucking around and finding stuff that we like, and Emily's really good at it, so Nico and I get to benefit.
And
Yeah, and
like
we
I
take
said-
advantage, full advantage of it. That's your department.
like I said, this is just it's not even really a play on a Corpse Reviver number 2. It pretty much is a Corpse Reviver number 2, just with the added color changing and glitter to it. So
Don't sell yourself short,
well,
there, Emily.
what I was going to follow up with is that there's lots of ways to customize a Corpse Reviver. Also, be forewarned, if you're Googling Corpse Reviver, the number 1 is completely different than the number 2. They're like not even related whatsoever. But there's lots of things you can play with. I recommend adding chartreuse if you want to substitute chartreuse for the Cointreau. That's really fun.
Which one, green or yellow?
The website I saw said yellow, but I only have green at my house.
Green chartreuse is my kryptonite.
Yeah, but it's like $70 a bottle.
I know, and I hate it.
It's so good.
I'm way too.
Have you
poor
ever
to
had a
drink
last
it.
word?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
out of like a list. If I could pick like my favorite cocktails, a last word is probably top 3.
Oh yeah, same with producer Ryan and I. That's our definitely our
I
kryptonite.
think I've ever had one before.
I'll make you
We
one.
gotta,
It's delicious.
we got to do a
It's-
twist on that
oh,
for one of our
oh.
things.
Okay.
When we get a Patreon and someone can sponsor a bottle of chartreuse.
You hear that, Mom?
Green chartreuse. Hey, Green Chartreuse, if you want us to do a free plug,
Oh my God,
just send
chartreuse,
us a bottle.
sponsor us,
Right.
sponsor us.
Like, we're gonna need more than 20 subscribers, guys.
Send us a pallet of that shit.
Ugh,
We'll drink it.
All right,
in a
so
weekend.
WandaVision season and series finale.
Right. For this episode, we are not going over movie news at all. We're going to go straight into finale because there's a lot to talk about here.
And not a lot happened in terms of movie news. We were like trying to come up with
yeah,
some shit.
we were looking
like,
at the
"Man."
shit that was going on this week, and we're like,
Good not to push it if there's nothing.
yeah, you know. And this is the
We wanna
finale. This
keep
is
it
the
entertaining
finale
for you.
episode. Yeah. This is all for you.
We're not here to bullshit. We're here to give you some real.
Wait, we're not here to bullshit? What have we
Cold,
been doing the
hard
last
bullshit.
month and a half?
Hold on, Brent.
We're here to give you
We
some
are
cold, hard
100% here to bullshit. That's our job. Okay.
It's our lot in life.
Bullshit
It's our
about things
calling.
that at least we want to talk
Right.
about.
Yeah,
Let's get into it. What
It
y'all
was
think?
good.
it was real good.
Roll credits.
No, it was a really great episode. If you kind of look back at this season as a whole and you kind of like revisit the first episode, you wouldn't really expect this series to end this exact way. You know what I
No,
mean?
not at
If
all.
you watched season 1 and guessed what the finale would be like, this would be, something completely out of left field, in my opinion.
And I love that pretty much all of the predictions that had been going around
Yeah.
were wrong. Like a lot of the content that like a lot of people were, theorizing about ended
Right.
up not actually happening.
So
Which
like
is kinda
Quicksilver, him. I mean, I think one said that he was going to be Mephisto, or he actually was.
There was a lot of
the-
Mephisto
Was there a
the-
shot?
talk.
There
the
wasn't
Evan-
a shot bet for that, was there?
fun. I don't think
I
so.
thought there was.
I don't know. You gotta.
Maybe we talked about it and then didn't actually make one.
Right.
We will circle back next week.
We will
Although
circle back.
there is a shot bet that Brent and I have to own up on.
Let's
which
reconcile it.
We're doing that now.
Might as well.
Might as well
Okay.
get it.
Shot
Well,
bet.
I
get
was
it
I was
going
trying
now.
to talk about Evan Peters as Quicksilver, but
We'll get back to it.
yeah. Let's
talk while I pour.
Okay.
So yeah, sure.
Actually, that's a good idea. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, as soon as they introduced Evan Peters as Pietro, the internet went crazy about, this is definitely a Fox universe crossover because Disney had bought Fox a few years ago, and it was, it wasn't what we were expecting at all. If anything, they really deflated us by, calling him like, what was it, Ryan Boner?
Yeah, his name was
Ralph
Boner.
Boner.
Ralph Boner.
Ralph
Right.
Boner.
Mhm.
Right.
Ralph Boner.
Yeah. But I guess that was Agnes's husband that we never saw. His name was Ralph, and
I did not even put that together.
right, yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, yeah, pretty weird twist. It was a twist that didn't go anywhere, but it definitely made us people who like comic books. I was gonna say nerds, but I hate that word. It made us like, oh shit, like they're finally merging the X-Men universe with the Marvel universe. And I'm like, nah. Kevin Feige
yeah.
was like, nah, guys. We're just gonna let you wet your pants and then talk about it for a long time.
And I think it's like what we were talking about, how like, a lot of the theories that went around like didn't come true. It's like, yeah, they know what you guys are gonna talk about.
Yeah.
What we're gonna talk about.
Mhm.
Like, they're thinking ahead for all that shit.
right, they wanted to generate the buzz.
Yeah,
which
they want
happens.
they want you to
Internet
talk
blew
about
up.
all these different facets that like,
Yeah.
it's obviously this now.
Right.
And then they probably were like, they're gonna think it's this. Let's give them a couple more hints of that. And then you just pull the rug out at the end.
a good story, or I guess a good screenplay, it's kind of like you as an audience member, you're a rat in the maze, and the storytellers are the ones kind of dictating where the maze goes,
Moving the walls.
moving the walls around, and they were definitely leading us into dead ends here and there, and having unexpected twists and turns, and it was a hell of a ride.
There's still
This-
fun twists and turns, even if it
this series was amazing.
didn't, satisfy at the end. I guess I still enjoyed. Like I still love that they got Evan Peters to play Quicksilver in this.
Oh
I
yeah,
still-
yeah.
Like I, don't care.
that was a
if-
great guest star. Like he,
Yeah.
who
100%.
was the actor for that?
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters. Yeah.
Okay, duh.
Yeah.
He did a really great job with that role. Like it brought.
He's played that role
It was
before.
like at the no, I'm saying for the show, it brought
Yeah.
it was when the show's comedy level was like starting to dip because it was the plot lines were getting much more serious.
Right.
Mhm.
He got to pull. He was like the comedic relief. Even in the
Totally.
last episode, where it was like nothing funny is happening at all for this episode. There's
Yeah.
nothing, there's no kitschy shit. There's no timeline stuff. It's like now we're just really in it. And he
Right.
got to show up and still have his little blending shit in the
Right.
background.
It was right.
His name was Boner.
yeah.
Classic. You can never go wrong with naming someone Boner.
WandaVision did a really good job of that. Like
Yeah.
it starts off almost more comedic than serious, and then as it gets more and more serious, they're like, we need to keep the comedy in there somehow, and they just
Yeah.
found ways to pull in comedy.
It was like comedy with hints of this mystery that's definitely underneath. And at that point, when Quicksilver entered the show, it was definitely when the mystery was starting to bubble over, and you kind of needed that like light, funny relief, or at least something else to latch onto. The whole like, oh shit, X-Men are now in the Marvel universe.
Except they're not.
Except they're not, which is cool.
Which
But
is
you know
fine.
that
Not
other
yet.
people watching the show.
Not yet.
Honestly, I'm really glad that a lot like they didn't have like this convergence where like Mephisto and Reed Richards
Right.
and X-Men. Like I'm so glad that didn't all happen. I
You're
like
right.
that it was like nope, just Agatha is the bad guy in this.
Right.
We don't have another like because if they had thrown
You had
Mephisto
White
in at the
Vision.
very end, it would have been
And we
That would've
have
been too
years
much.
and years to let this whole thing play out. So
Right.
why put all chickens in one basket?
yeah.
Correct.
That's a common mistake with a lot of comic book movies is like
Mm.
throw all the villains in there, throw everything into one movie, into one thing. So
Right.
I like that they pumped the brakes a
Right.
little bit, but gave us enough little like, they're like, hey, make the wallpaper in the background look like a devil face, and like the nerds will just go fucking crazy
Right.
for it. Like,
Yeah.
they'll pick apart everything. So just
Mm-hmm.
leave them a couple breadcrumbs. Don't let it lead anywhere, but just give them something to do
Right.
in between
And
episodes.
I remember on episode 1 we talked about how Wanda was kind of underutilized in a lot of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to be anymore.
Oh no.
She's got such a cult following now.
I love.
As she deserves.
Yeah.
She
I-
deserves
She was
it.
pretty incredible through the series.
I love the way that they developed the Scarlet Witch persona,
Mhm.
the legend, and
You
she
didn't get
finally-
to see it till near the end of the last episode.
it was probably one of the best costume reveals of all time, or at least in the Marvel universe. Like, like the costume is such the essence of the character, and Marvel has tended to be very. They like to adapt what it looks like in the comic books into real life. Like Iron Man is a great example of it looking better on film than it didn't look in the
Captain
comic books.
America.
Yeah, Captain America. But Scarlet Witch, her transformation, like I love the ideas that went into this, like the fact that her headdress, like the ridiculous Marvel headdress that she had, just manifests itself through
Mhm.
The magic.
through the magic. It wasn't something that she made and put on. It was just part of this mystique. This
No, Mystique is an X-Men.
right. Yeah. Anyway, she was a juggernaut.
Yeah. Nice. I remember when Age of Ultron was coming out. As I've said, I love Scarlet Witch as a character from the
Mhm.
comics and all that kind of thing. I remember when they released kind of the images, I was like, oh, she doesn't have a costume. She's just wearing like a
Right.
jacket. Okay, well, like, oh, that's a little sad. That's a little disappointing.
Right.
But now it feels earned in like
Oh.
every sense of the word.
It took a long
Her
time for her to
costume
earn that.
feels earned, where
Yeah.
it's like, no, it makes sense for now that she has overcome so much, now
Yeah.
that she has come into her power.
And you know what? God damn
now
it.
she gets to wear it.
Elizabeth Olsen wanted this so bad. She
Yeah, that
wanted the
interview
original
from
outfit. She
Yep.
wanted
days
all
ago.
this to happen to her character. And I feel like,
Good for her.
I feel like
how
I'm
many
more.
actresses get to like get that? Where
Yeah.
she's like, what would you love to see like down the road
Yeah.
for this character? I want to see this. I want to see that, and then
I feel like I'm more happy
They're
for
like, "Yes,
for
ma'am, here
Elizabeth
you go."
Olsen
Yeah.
for this, than I am for her character. I'm like, yeah, Elizabeth, like you get your costume finally. You get to have the proper storyline that Scarlet Witch deserves, and going forward, she's going to be a huge character in the MCU, if not a villain. I mean, maybe not, but
I hope not.
But they did set it up to be a little open ended, where
cool.
maybe she has some back and forth on it.
Well,
Or
also-
maybe there's like the dichotomy there for what her character should be.
Agatha had said that the Scarlet Witch, it's her destiny to destroy the world, right?
And she also
Yeah.
kept saying at the very end, like, you have no idea what you unleashed.
You're dangerous.
Like, that's
This is
foreshadowing for, there is going to be
100%.
That's going to be
some sort of
Doctor
dichotomy between
Strange,
her
I
being
think.
a good person and a
Or
bad
it's this
person.
conflicting thing that's always in her. She has this evil magic in her. Just in the last
She's
post credit
got the
scene when you see
magic in her.
she's making tea and we go into this dark, scary room
And
that
her
would be
s-
out of
yeah.
the
She's
ring
astral
or the
projecting.
garage, and she's
Mhm.
astral projecting, but she has dark force power inside of her.
Mhm.
And it might be this conflicting thing that we see throughout the series, whether she's trying to fight this darkness, like
And-
Kylo Ren.
And a lot of good evil characters.
Speaking of Kylo Ren,
is that what we're doing?
this shot is so at Burning Man, when it's normally Burning Man, I have a bar that I run called Bar Binks, where all of the cocktails
run?
are themed. Nico's my bouncer,
Yeah.
and my promoter.
I'm your hype man.
Yeah, my hype man. We had a
Naked
shot.
I found that bullhorn in my
Naked
garage,
in the
by the way.
streets. with the-
We had a shot. So
Did you?
all
Yeah.
the cocktails are Star Wars themed.
Mhm.
I have been told many times that I have the best cocktails on the playa, not just from
I
Nico.
was like, that's what I spewed out my mouth when I'm yelling naked in the streets. Best drinks on the playa.
But we have a shot called the Kylo Ren. It's normally made with cherry juice and this black pepper infused vodka that I made. But I don't have the cherry juice right now. So we're doing it with grenadine. So speaking of Kylo Ren, here's your
Kylo Red over here.
So this is to reconcile for the shot that I was like, no, it's gonna be Agatha, but she's gonna be the mentor thing. And then Brent said something like, she's gonna seem bad and then she's gonna end up being good.
Yeah, she did.
Against her will.
She's a good neighbor now.
Yeah, against her will.
Yeah. So technically I was right, but I'll
Right.
take it anyway.
Cheers to Catherine Hahn.
Cheers.
Oh, bless you.
Cheers, you losers.
What I do want to say, though, regarding her, the dichotomy of her possibly being
Spicy.
good and bad. A lot of evil characters have this reason that eventually is revealed that it's like, oh, no wonder they're this person.
Mm-hmm.
Like technically her kids, her hubby boy,
Mm-hmm.
gone, dead. She's got like a dark past for that, like they can play off like she's a tortured person. She's not like
She also like let them go very peacefully though. At the same time,
That's
it
true.
wasn't taken from her like Quicksilver. A lot of her.
but there's a
family
dark
members.
enough past for her that it's like
Yeah.
there's room to play.
That's
But
true.
I think the end of this episode was really about her coming to terms with her grief and
100%.
accepting it.
Coming to Jesus.
Like
Yes,
when
coming to
the
Jesus moment.
the citizens of Westview, they said your grief is poisoning us because
Yeah.
apparently like every
Mm.
time the citizens would go to sleep, they just have like
They would have her dreams.
her trauma and her dreams on repeat.
That was a really nice touch.
That was a really great touch. The fact that they have like her nightmares and
Yeah, because that's a real thing. Like not processing your grief and it hurting other people as well.
well, I mean,
That's-
technically, like it makes sense because she
Yes.
is in their head, controlling them,
Mhm.
controlling their will. So part of her mind might be in them as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense to why they're acting that
it
way.
makes sense literally and
Yeah, yeah,
also figuratively.
Right.
So
Just a lot of great ideas. Like I feel like this story was really like meditated on a lot. A lot of long walks by these writers and the director.
a lot of sitting cross-legged, floating, reading books.
Right, exactly. Reading House of M like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The lines, the plot lines that they set up for future movies and episodes too. is
right.
Like,
Monica Rambeau. Like I feel like this.
yeah, boom, you got a new character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This series kind of ended with a lot of branches going out that could latch onto other franchises and films that are coming up.
She'll
Doctor
probably
Strange
get her
too.
own movie or TV show in about 5 years or 5
Yeah.
movies.
WandaVision season 2 will not happen, but maybe a Scarlet Witch TV show.
There will probably
could
be a
happen.
branch off
Bees.
of it.
Yeah.
More Scarlet Witch. please.
Yes.
More Catherine Hahn, please.
Oh,
Also-
she's not gone forever.
Oh, I
Let's-
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
she even said, "I'll see you again." That was like
Yeah.
the last thing she
Yeah,
said to her.
she's like, if I need you, I know where to find you.
and
Yeah.
then she also said, like, "I'll see you again."
Yeah.
She said both of those within like a minute. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Also, I like that in the comic books, Agatha is a mentor to Scarlet Witch, and in
Mm-hmm.
this, you didn't really see any signs of that at all, the mentorship. But the runes, when she cast the runes into the sky, she was like, "That's a lesson you taught me." I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, there's the mentorship."
There
Like
it
just
is.
a little, just
A
one.
little dab of it.
Right. I'm like, okay, well, they adapt. They had to kind of adapt it into the screenplay.
Speaking
I loved
of
it.
costume and stuff too, which is not something that I usually am nearly as aware of as you. Catherine Hahn's outfits in this episode when she's floating around and are dark, like witchy and big and flying.
her her
So
black
much.
fingers,
Yeah.
like
And
everything
her
worked
hair.
well. Yeah.
So much hair.
It was. I mean, it was obviously a wig, but it was
oh,
so
delicious.
fucking cool. Like how
Yeah.
big and thick and like curly her hair.
Same
was.
with Scarlet Witch when she came into her costume. Her
Mhm.
hair got like big and wavy
Mhm.
and everything. I'm
Right.
like, yes, good wig. There's been a
Yeah.
couple episodes where Elizabeth Olsen's wig, I've been like, oh god, that's awful. But
Yeah.
good wig in
Yeah.
the last episode.
This was
Also,
really
White Vision had a really good
Oh,
white
dude,
version,
Oh.
and he also just
The
had this
eye
The
change?
eye
Eye
change.
change.
Yeah.
fuck me up.
It's so good. And also, what happened to him? He was like,
He's gonna
"I'm the
find-
Vision." Flew up, disappeared. I thought he was gonna go and maybe help out
I
the
was
cause.
I was pretty sure he was gonna help out.
Me too. I was like, oh, he left to help, and then
He'll be back.
I was
where?
expecting
Who knows?
I was fully expecting it
Where
to
or
be
when?
like, Pink Vision's gonna die, White Vision's gonna be like, "Hello, honey, I'm back. I have all my memories back," and then
Right.
like they were gonna, live together.
Right.
But I mean, maybe down the road,
I think maybe what he might have done, and we've seen this in Marvel films before, a Marvel film. Bucky kind of did that when he got his memories back. He He went to a museum
Gotta
and
go
looked
process.
himself
Be
up.
right
Yeah,
back.
he just he had to go and process for a little bit and figure out who he was. And if anyone needs that, it would be someone like White Vision. The Theseus ship.
That was so cool.
That was my favorite
was
part of the
cool.
entire episode. I think
That was
if
really
I had to rank
cool.
all the moments in in a list, I would probably put that one at the top because it took what both of those characters were struggling with, identity, and that specific dialogue with this Theseus ship,
And I like how it was like a
was
greater
apt.
It was sort of a greater conversation on like AI becoming sentient. Like it was literally just
what is life?
watching
Yeah.
an AI become sentient in front of your eyes over
Two
the course
different
of
AIs talking to each
a
other.
2-minute conversation,
Yep.
which is insane.
But it's like you have two different visions, but they're not Vision. They're not
Yeah.
the
Neither
original.
one is 100%
Exactly.
Vision.
I was
Yeah.
sent here to destroy Vision. Well, I'm not actually Vision, but also
You're more Vision
you
than
are
I am.
you are Vision too.
That was such a clever way to, instead of them
Diffuse
battling
that.
it out,
Fighting it with logic.
Yeah, they
Sick.
fought it with, which is what Vision would do.
Exactly. It was very on brand. It
But
was
the thing
perfect.
is, if you were tasked to write that scene,
had
whoever
to
came
end
up with
that
that
way.
idea with the Theseus ship or whatever, that was
Genius.
brilliant.
Genius.
It was such a
Yeah.
great move. And it really, it was.
But it had to end
the
with
best
them.
move.
It had to end with them like conversing rather than one of them besting each other because
Yeah.
they're basically exactly the same. They're the same person fighting the same person.
Exactly. Well, that's what you kind of saw in their fight. You're like, no one's gonna win this. This
Yeah.
is just
And
they
I'm
can
glad they
they can
gave us
phase
a
through
fight.
each other. Like their laser beams equal each other out. Like, they're both pretty much indestructible.
I'm glad they
Just
gave
wanted
us a
them to
fight for
kiss.
a little while first too.
Right,
because
right,
We
right.
still got a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Kiss.
Just wanted to kiss.
Yeah. Wow.
I just wanted them to kiss.
Like you've never watched twins kiss. Come on.
Twin robots kiss?
Even better.
I've never seen that before.
I've also
Twin
never
robots.
seen twins kiss before. I don't
In
think.
porn.
I don't think I've ever seen twin porn. Is twin porn a thing? I mean, every porn's a thing.
Twin porn has to be a thing.
Twin porn's got to be
Definitely
a
a
thing.
thing.
But I
Hugh
feel like
Hefner dated a
those
pair of
twins
once.
those twins wouldn't want to be doing that if they had another
no,
option.
Of course not. Of course not. That's why it's
That's
like
ince-
a
that's incest
fantasy.
porn.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
So no, I
Anyway.
haven't seen that. Come on, it's
Thank
incest
God.
porn.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Everyone's out there sharing
You ever been to
incest porn.
Thailand? Come on, dude.
Well, there is every porn is now stepbrother or stepsister shit. So
Yeah.
if
That's
any of that
weird.
were
That's
true,
such a weird trend. You fucks out there.
what? Who started that trend?
Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
everywhere.
right.
now.
It's-
when did that? Why?
I don't know. It's kind of hot, but like,
It's like, oh, this is bad. Bad's good right now.
Yeah.
I'm in a bad mood. So this is
and I'm by myself. I could do whatever the
Boys.
fuck I want.
this is bad, and that's good currently.
And that's bad currently.
I just want to just again touch really closely on the or really quickly, not closely.
Yeah, you
Touch-
want-
touch
you
really
want-
Touch real
closely.
quick.
Yeah, what are you going to touch real close, Emily?
we're on
No, I
the
wanna
we're on the
touch real
Pornhub
quickly
mindset.
on Scarlet Witch's costume. Because just
Mm,
we were just watching it. I was sitting on the couch.
it's a great
I
costume.
just go yes, 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 yes.
As soon as you saw the silhouette with like a little dress, you're like, yes.
Yes.
And I wrote in all caps, "This is all I've wanted."
Yeah.
Since Ultron, I'm like, this is
Yeah,
all I
yeah.
wanted is to see the fucking weird little headdress and the cape.
Right.
And Olsen too. You guys had the same dream.
Mm.
We're
Yeah.
synchro, Elizabeth. We're the same thing in the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad we both got to achieve our dreams of seeing the Scarlet Witch outfit.
Yeah. It was a great outfit.
I can't wait to see it as a cosplay.
I feel like as far as Marvel characters are concerned too, Olsen got the chance to act so much more than so many other characters.
Emmy
Same with
Emmy
Paul
award
Bettany.
winning. I feel like there's a lot
Ooh,
of
you think?
emotionality. Yeah, I think so.
Emotionality?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a word.
No, it's not.
He also said botan.
It's just
he said
emotion.
botan earlier.
Pretty sure
instead of
Robert
bot.
Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder said emotionality.
It's just emotion.
Emotionality.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, I don't think that makes it a word.
Shot bet. Shot bet. We haven't done one yet. Emotionality.
Is
Emotionality.
emotionality a word?
Is emotionality a word?
Yes.
All right.
Emotionality.
Emotionality.
Emotionality is the observable behavior and physiological component of emotion.
God
Yeah.
damn it! It just sounds so dumb.
Yeah, it's the
Mm.
emotionality of the artistic temperament. emotional state or quality. I hate you.
Take
hate
a
you.
shot.
It sounds like conversate to me. Like,
Yeah.
bleh, that's not a word.
I'm sorry if I
It
know
is a
more
word.
English than you.
Conversate
but,
is a word. Emily, conversate is a word. Converse is also a word, and they both work. But I looked this up.
Shot bet?
Shop bet.
It's stupid.
Conversate became a word because people used it so much instead of converse
I
that they
hate
made it a
that.
fucking word.
I hate
Wow.
that.
I hate it too,
I hate it.
but I like that we
Same
conversate with each
same
other.
With,
Yeah.
comfortability. I'm like, it's comfort. Comfort is the word you're looking for. It's not comfortability.
Is comfortability a word?
Ooh, I'm not gonna shot bet this one.
I will throw myself into that candle if.
You know what the shitty thing is? Even if it's not,
Candle.
enough people will probably say it that it will
Yeah.
become a word. In the next,
Throw
like,
yourself
20
into the
years.
candle bet. Here we go. All right, and we're back. So emotionality is a word, and these motherfuckers
Hey,
are
don't
gonna
leave all that shit in. Don't cut any of that. Don't cut any of that.
I was gonna cut all of that.
Don't cut that.
Any
No,
of it.
I've noticed that a couple times. Don't cut that.
I cut a lot.
Leave it
We're
in. None of this needs to be cut. For the record, if I see any of this cut, I walk. You heard it here first. Shop bet.
We'll replace you with
Shot
Ryan.
Oh God, that would be so annoying for everyone.
I only cut shit to make them
He's just-
more comfortable about watching our show,
Mm-mm,
because a
mm-mm.
lot of the shit that we say,
Mm-mm.
it's a bunch of bullshit. Bunch of bullshit.
See, this is the thing. I don't like that he has full editing power. This is-
No, Wit edits
I have
the
final cut.
episodes.
I got final cut.
Wit edits it.
If I say anything stupid, cut. It's cut out.
I know.
Better cut his whole
I
thing
know.
then.
It's cut out.
I watched
Just
it.
plug your mic.
I'll just. Oh, I hate that part.
I
I'm
watched
gonna
it.
Cut myself.
All right.
I cut myself out of a lot of shit.
I saw it and I was like, "This. I don't get that luxury."
You don't.
To English.
To the fact that if you just say a word a bunch of times, it will become a word that they put in the dictionary.
Bimbly bambly. That's my new word. I'm just gonna.
And what does it mean?
I don't know.
Is it a noun, adjective?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Bimbly
It's a noun.
bambly.
Bimbly bambly.
That's the name of our next drink. You heard it
Yeah.
here first.
It's when you don't believe a word exists. It's just what.
That's
bimbly?
just bimbly
That's
bambly.
bimbly bambly.
That ain't no word. That's bimbly
Emotionality?
bambly.
That's bimbly bambly. For me.
You have to say it with a southern accent. You can't say
Yeah.
you can't say bimbly bambly. You got bimbly
No.
bambly.
Oh, that's not a word. That's bimbly bambly.
Bimbly bambly.
The first B's got to like explode out your mouth.
bimbly bambly.
That's bimbly bambly.
All right.
Ugh.
I'm gonna send that one to the Oxford Dictionary. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
get that in.
Oxford, they're big fans of the show.
Oh,
Yeah, they
they're
subscribed.
subscribers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're one of the 23 for sure.
Thank you,
Also,
Oxford.
Hello to our 23 subscribers.
23? That's
23.
5 more than last week.
23
Exactly.
and me. That's what I always say. I'm cutting that one out.
I hate you.
That's
Right.
bimbly bambly.
And you know what? I spend 3 hours on graphics for this show, so I could cut whatever the
And
fuck
it's
I want
worth
out.
every goddamn second.
Yeah, that's the best part of the show.
It's really
The little things that pop up right there.
and
Right
the,
here.
and the no.
It could be anything, like this.
Like what's going to pop up
Or that.
now?
It's gonna be this
What
or
the
that.
hell- what the hell is this thing?
This is so weird. Why did I put this up there?
It's just a picture of my face. What the fuck is this?
This thing is ugly as fuck. Yeah. Oh god.
Jesus
Oh god.
Christ.
And it smells. It smells really bad.
This was a fun
Get
episode.
it out of here.
guys.
Get it out of here.
We talked
Get
about
it outta
almost
here.
nothing, and this is my favorite episode.
Mhm.
One thing I noticed in the episode, there were a handful of Wizard of Oz references. So
There was.
I saw one.
There was one
Missed one.
when
Under the Buick.
Yeah, when Wanda throws the Buick,
Fucking Buick.
which is what it deserves. It's what the Buick deserves, really.
Yeah.
Buick,
Buick
sponsor us.
Buick. No, don't sponsor us. You deserve
Oh.
to get thrown into a house.
I kind of need a new car. So, hey Buick.
What's wrong with the Mazda?
You're a Mazda guy.
Yeah, it's pushing
You said last week-
You're a
200,000.
Mazda guy.
You're a Mazda guy. You want a Buick now?
Hey, if Scarlet Witch can own a Buick, then I can own a goddamn Buick.
Oh, it worked. Good job, Buick. Good marketing.
Fuck.
But when
It worked.
when Wanda throws the Buick at Agatha,
Yeah.
there's just like the red shoes waiting.
Oh, black boots.
Black boots? Were they black? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a different show that I was watching where they're different.
You think of
I'm thinking of-
Dorothy's red shoes.
correct. I'm thinking of Doom Patrol where there's a character named Dorothy and she gets a pair of red shoes. And I was like,
No, that's the Wizard of Oz.
I need you to take that bimbly bambly out of here and get focused.
God, that damn
Like
face.
knowing I'm antagonizing Emily.
I hate you so much.
sorry,
Um,
sorry,
But
Emily.
there's another reference when you know, like the movie theater marquee, how it's like changing a whole bunch.
I saw it.
When it like after it's like whom, whum, whum, it sets on Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Directed by Sam
Terrible.
Raimi,
Love
that-
you, Sam Raimi. Terrible.
who will be directing Doctor Strange 2, which is connected to this show.
That is a holy shit! I didn't even think of that connection.
Mhm. Sam Raimi. I'm pulling up his picture with the fishing rod right now.
Oh my god.
Wow, you're really setting yourself up for a lot of
I
editing
know
work. huh?
he's gonna have to edit the shit out of this episode now.
Cut the line.
What's this one or this one?
Cut the line.
Pew, boop. You have to add a little bloop
Yeah.
sound effect.
Some bibbly
We're gonna need a
bibbly.
staff for this show pretty soon. 14 subscribers. We need
Yeah.
a staff.
But yeah, there was like that was at least 2 Wizard of Oz references. Just about like coming to terms with your reality, exiting a fantasy world, that kind of thing. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
lots of shit I can dig. Good witch, bad witch. That's also a thing
Mhm.
in Wizard of Oz. There's a whole. I'm sure I can dig into this
Right.
fucking metaphor. But I like the Sam Raimi connection. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Doctor Strange. I know that's hot take. I'm
I'm
excited,
excited
Doctor
for
Strange.
every Marvel thing that's coming out because this is the first thing that we've gotten after Endgame, and
God, that feels
it's probably
so
some
long
of,
ago.
It's some of my favorite Marvel shit just in general.
Well,
this show, honestly.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man came after Endgame, didn't it?
No.
No, that came
That was
after
right before.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
I
It
will.
was
I will say
Spider-Man,
this.
Captain Marvel, and then
I will say this. You guys know I've not ever been like a huge comic book movie guy. I haven't seen every Marvel film.
He hasn't seen Captain Marvel.
I
As
did.
evidenced by the post-credit scene and his
right.
reaction.
He was like,
I-
"What's a scroll?"
What is
I
that?
did start to watch it and I fell asleep and I didn't care to turn it back on again because of doing this show and also because of how fucking good Endgame and the last few have been. They really got. Let's be honest. They got better as they went along. Like they have. Like Marvel has
Well,
really
yeah, they have.
started to get.
kind of like.
After,
there's a
they've
couple
been killing
misses.
it after Phase 2.
There's a couple misses, but they have done this over the last 10 years with Marvel movies, and now
Well, 10 years is the whole thing.
They've been in a fucking
know.
rhythm.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like.
that's what I mean. Is
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
they were so like okay at the beginning that it didn't grab me, and now that they've built the universe up in a really fucking cool way,
Right.
and now they're doing things like this with TV, and just the fact that they like Endgame was really fucking good. It brings someone who has never been a big comic book guy like me into
Right.
the fold. Besides Coed and Cambria's comic books,
Right.
I've really been a big comic book guy, and this brings me into the fold. And shows like this that aren't complete comic book nerdy stuff,
Right.
like they like we were talking about at the end of that at the show. Wanda and Vision saying goodbye to each other, like I cry at everything.
Same.
Literally, if I was by myself, I would have cried. The only reason I didn't is because I was like, God damn it, dude, hold it. You're like around people right now.
You were sitting next to me, bitch. Like I was also being like,
Were you welling up? Okay.
I was definitely
Yeah.
welling up.
I welled
Yeah,
up.
'cause-
I was fighting the urge to do this, but I was like, no one else has done it. If Emily does it, I'll do it.
So I
else
had to
did it.
hold it in because I did my makeup, and I was like, if I cry, I'm gonna have mascara and like a little line where my foundation goes away down my cheek. So I'm
I-
like, hold it in, tip your head back, hold it in.
I didn't want Ryan to look at me and go, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
No,
right now?"
he's used to it with me. Like he's used to like I think we were watching Coco on the plane home from Costa
Coco
Rica.
makes me cry. I'll admit that all day.
I had been dead asleep.
A lot of emotionality I get from that.
Yeah, a lot
movie.
of emotionality in Coco. I had been dead asleep for the entire flight home from Costa Rica. This was 2 years ago or so. And I woke up and I was like, good nap. And then I look at the little shitty TV and I'm like, oh my God, it's the last 10 minutes of Coco. And I like,
Oh, you weren't even
scrambled.
invested and you still
I
cried.
wasn't even invested. I scrambled to put my little headphones in and I sat there and I sobbed. And Ryan's like, you didn't even watch the movie. I'm like, yeah, but I already have the context.
yeah,
I've
you
seen
know it.
I've seen it. I know it. We watched it like 2 weeks ago and I still like sobbed.
Right.
Well, it was like Soul. I watched Soul 3 times in 2 weeks, and I cried 3 times.
Well, sometimes
each
you
time I
get
watched
more
it.
out of a movie by watching it more. Like
Yeah.
you go deeper
Absolutely.
into
Yeah.
to what
You
it
definitely do.
means, and what it means to you. So
I feel like that happens more often than not, actually.
I cry more now at Moana than I did the first time I saw it. Now, if I'm watching it on the couch, I'd cry like a little baby.
Moana.
all right. Well, I
Make
feel like we got
way, make
away
way.
from our main topic.
We're talking about crying.
We're talking about WandaVision season finale.
People watch this show for those tangents. That's why you watch
Speaking of crying and speaking of WandaVision,
I'm cutting all that out, by the way.
I
it.
heard,
No, definitely don't.
I heard recently.
Comment why you like to watch the show below.
You know the scene in
Nice.
Infinity War where Wanda has to kill Vision, and he says,
Yeah.
you could never hurt me. That apparently that was all ad libbed.
Oh.
That whole scene was just like, just say what you two think you would say to each other.
Yeah.
Holy
And
shit,
it's
that's
like
so cool.
one of the best. It's
Yeah.
the most romantic little nugget that's ever existed in a Marvel film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And when you get two actors that are so invested into their own characters
And so skilled.
and skilled,
They're so
let them
good.
write it. Let them write
Exactly.
some shit.
They're probably deeper into the character the characters than the writer is. You know what I
God.
mean?
It's their whole life doing this character at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, that's
Right.
what they're doing for.
Also, good for Paul Bettany, who plays Vision.
Mhm.
He started just as the voice of Jarvis,
right.
and then now gets to be Vision.
Right.
Like,
And he did a very, very good
he's
job.
so good.
His story about becoming Vision, the fact that I think it was a producer that said he would never work in Hollywood again, and he was like wandering the streets of Hollywood Boulevard or something
Wait,
like that.
what?
You ever heard of the story?
No.
He was really
He
down.
was in A Knight's Tale. He was naked in A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, but like in between A Knight's Tale and playing Jarvis, he didn't really have much work, and he was getting old, so he wasn't exactly
Old.
old.
Hollywood old.
Hollywood old.
He is
A lot of
he's
scripts
in
are-
his 40s probably, yeah.
at that
Maybe
maybe
in
at
the
that
early
time.
40s, maybe.
But anyway, so he was, a producer that day told him he would never work in Hollywood again, and he was wandering the streets, and he got a call from Disney, which he was already working for. He was already Jarvis, and he was like, "I'm getting fired from being Jarvis," and they
Mhm.
called him into the office, and he went in, and they gave him the part of Vision, like we're going to create Vision, and he was like, oh man, like a whole new career started for him again, like a rebirth of his career, because he was in A Beautiful Mind. He was in
Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code as White Vision.
Yeah,
Da Vinci
right?
Code.
He's the albino priest who's
Yeah,
like, look at himself.
right.
That's inspiring though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, drawing entails to my own life. I've been thinking
Right.
a lot about like, I feel like I'm getting old to
Right.
be like trying to do the things that I want to do with my life. And
Dude, no, there's never an age limit. Alan Rickman didn't start acting until he was like mid 40s.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
There's
working
there's
regular
a lot of
jobs.
There's a lot of stories like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
but it's such a
Die
young
Hard was
person's
his
game.
Die Hard was his first major role, or first role, I think, in general. I think he was acting on stage, and then he became one of the best movie villains of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
did it a couple times.
Yeah, Alan Rickman. Yeah, R.I.P. He was
Yeah.
a great man.
And a good comedic actor.
Julia
Galaxy
Child.
Quest.
Julia Child, the one
Galaxy
that,
Quest,
that
man.
Julia Child, the chef that brought French cooking to America, didn't start her career till she was 50. She
Okay.
didn't start cooking till she was 50. or
Yeah,
something like
there's
that. Yeah.
there's no age limit on success. So
So all you olds out there, chase your
Right.
dreams. Okay.
even you can start a podcast at 33 years old and
And reached 23 subscribers.
Woo!
No, that is actually really inspiring though.
yeah. No, Paul Bettany, I love that guy. And any more thoughts on WandaVision?
Scrolls. There's scrolls.
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 A scrum.
So we know that Captain Marvel 2 will be coming out before Secret Invasion, the TV show that will be on Disney Plus.
Wait, did they announce a Secret Invasion show?
Yeah, they
Am I-
did. Secret Invasion.
There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
There's-
Oh, also,
I only got so much room in this brain of mine.
the scroll in
Hair big, brain small.
the scroll in the post credit scenes in this, Monica Rambeau was like, "Who sent you?" It was like, an
An old friend of your
yeah,
of
and
your
she
mom's.
pointed up, and the first time I watched this episode, I'm like, who's it talking about? Are they talking about
the boy scroll.
Talos?
Yeah.
But I think they're talking about Nick Fury.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
he's in outer space
'cause
right
he's
now.
in space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we haven't
you're
seen
right,
him in
you're
a
right,
long
you're right.
time. So
Because he's also in space with Talos, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Nick Fury is that person. They're yeah, and which is going
I
to lead
like
into
that.
Secret Invasion.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Brent, your homework before next episode
Mm-hmm.
is to watch Captain Marvel.
Correct.
Okay.
That's your homework.
I'll rewatch it.
He's good. Brie Larson. She's so good.
She is really good.
She is good.
She's really
It's a
good.
good movie.
It's fun.
I've heard I was sleepy. I just started watching Breaking Bad, and I'm getting so much shit for
Brent
it.
looked at us. He was like, "Oh, I just started watching Breaking Bad." Nico and I both turned. I was like, "What do you mean you
God.
just started watching Breaking Bad?"
It's just one of those things.
To be fair, producer Ryan has also not watched Breaking Bad, and it's been bothering me since I met him.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of those trains. If you miss it, you'll never catch up.
Ooh, but it holds up though.
It does.
Like,
no. I
No,
mean,
oh yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
definitely does. And it's not that I didn't watch any of it. What's more annoying is that I watched the first 2 seasons, loved it, and then for whatever reason just stopped watching it.
Have you seen
Started
the?
watching something else, got busy, don't know.
This is not a spoiler. Have you seen the scene with the pizza yet? And if you aren't
Pizza.
sure, then you haven't seen it yet.
I'm not I know.
Nico, do you
No.
know what I'm talking
With
about?
the
the
pizza?
pizza.
On the roof.
No. I've not
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's my favorite scene in all of Breaking.
Yeah, that's a good.
It's
Yeah.
got to be relatively early if you're asking me this. I'm in season 2 right now.
I think it's in like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Best scene in Breaking Bad is the pizza.
Right. You know the Fly episode that's directed by Ryan Johnson.
Yes.
So it was a self-contained episode. That was.
Excellent episode. In my opinion, a lot of
Yeah.
people hate it. I love that episode.
Do you know?
is it one of those like self-contained, like this doesn't really further the plot, but it's
Yes.
Right. So what happened?
People love episodes like
But
that.
here's
Yeah.
the thing: it's one of the best episodes in the series. A lot of people say it's at least in a lot of people's top 10. But it came out of necessity because they ran out of budget for. They had to select. They had a certain amount of episodes.
We built this meth lab. We better film something in this fucking meth lab.
Well, yeah, they didn't know
Happens
what
a lot in TV
they didn't
shows.
know how to utilize their budget because a lot of their money was going to different places, and they were running out of like money to do multiple locations for one episode. So they trapped them
fair.
in one location and filmed an entire episode in one location, and that turned out to be one of the better episodes in the series because it was so different from all the other episodes.
Yeah.
So that happens all the fucking time, and
Yeah.
nobody realizes it. Or when a show like The Office does one of those, they only did one out of the whole
Yeah.
series. What the fuck did you just do?
Nothing.
We're gonna lose subscribers for that.
Did she
When
just sigh at
The
the
best.
office?
I
She
didn't
was.
sigh.
She made
I
a
did
face.
not- I did not
When the
sigh.
best comedic show of all time, aka The
Yeah.
Office,
So I saw it. She made an ugly face
she made a like a stink face
to The
No.
Office.
No.
One of the
Absolutely
greatest
not.
shows of our
What
generation.
are you gonna
biggest
do?
Emmy
What are you
snub
gonna
of
do?
all time.
Kick me
The
off
biggest
the show
Emmy
and not
snub
use
of
my
all time.
All time.
apartment. What are you gonna kick me off? This is my bar. This is my apartment.
Anyway,
I'm cutting your audio.
The Office
for the rest
one
of the episode.
season we're running out of a budget, and they were like, okay, well, fuck, we'll just do like a recap show. That show ended up being one of the most successful shows of the
Right.
entire season.
Yeah.
And to be honest, as an Office fan, I'll skip it. It's like I've seen all this shit 18,000 times.
I'm sure
Yeah.
as you're watching
Well,
the series, though, like it's
I mean,
fun to
Fri-
have a
Friends
If you're
had-
watching it live, it's like, oh my god, there's so many good memories of the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
But a lot of sitcoms have those episodes. Friends,
And they
Seinfeld.
and they made
Seinfeld.
those.
Right.
They made those as a way to fix to help their budget.
Yeah, probably.
It opened
yeah.
up their budget for the rest of the season.
Right.
Sometimes it was out of pure necessity, and other times they were like, hey, that went really well last season when we did that. If we do that, we can do more shit in these actually good episodes that we
Yeah,
have.
it is a good way to kind of look back at the journey that the audiences had.
Remind
with the
you how much
show.
you love everybody.
Right. And but also the characters at least in The Office, they were connected to these memories too.
Mhm.
You know. So anyway.
Shrewd Farms. Shrewd Farms.
Anyway.
Etsy.com.
Right. So WandaVision.
I feel like I had another point to make, but it's not something that I wrote down, and now it's left my brain.
Oh no.
Like I said, big hair, small brain.
You ruined it.
Well, on that terrible fucking note, we have to figure out someone else to review because WandaVision has been basically what we've done at the beginning of the show.
When
So
does Captain
Falcon and the Winter
Falcon.
Soldier that comes out in 2 weeks.
don't care. Not wanting to do our entire show
We-
about
You're-
Marvel.
Oh, we
Sorry.
are going to.
Our whole show is going to be Marvel.
we will
This
do
whole
it.
show's gonna be Marvel?
We will be filming.
2 weeks to break.
We will be filming soon a review of Judas and the Black Messiah.
Correct.
So good.
We were gonna film it today, but Brent has to go golfing. And
No,
don't mind
I'm
me.
actually down to do it. Nico doesn't want to.
What?
He's going to cut this out now. I would
Yeah.
love to do it
The
today.
boys have prior arrangements.
I do have a prior arrangement.
So we will see you very soon for that.
Also,
Right.
for realsies, like and subscribe. And for realsies, leave a comment below about something you want to see us review.
Yeah,
'Cause
whether
if
it's
it's
a
a-
movie or whatever.
If it's
like,
a
tell us
show, a
something.
movie, whatever, we can't have this just be a fucking Marvel show. We got to review other shit. So leave a comment about something you want us to watch, and If it's cool, we'll watch it and we'll talk about it, and then you can be like, "Thanks, guys."
And
Right.
or request a if you're like, I want a cocktail involving some kind of ingredient. Comment
Boom.
it down. Tell
Right.
me. Tell me.
We
me-
will
give me
drink
inspiration.
whatever you guys tell us to drink,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Or send us
Yeah.
right.
anything. We'll drink anything,
Right.
especially Ryan.
Buick
So
sponsor
stupid.
our next cocktail.
Yeah. Buick and Chartreuse, we're waiting on your sponsorship calls.
All right, guys. Till next time. Cheers.
Love you.